Alright, so we are almost all the way to the back of the property. I can't go any farther back. It's been raining. It's all flooded. So I'll make a nice little video on the way back if I have enough memory of what I had to do to get to this point. I normally don't go out here because it's so hard to get out here. This is over a half mile back, and I'm not even all the way, and I'm pooped. It's not as easy as how it used to be when I was a kid. I've been waiting, somebody's shooting, so I was trying to wait for that, but they're not stopping. But coming up on 15 months, and I don't think my last video I did was really an actual how you doing video. So this is going to be it. I woke up this morning to things being said about me that are not even close to being true, and I have to walk away from that, but it hurts, especially when you know who it's coming from. Taking two words that I said, the two words I said were not true, and coming up with a 5-page report from those two words of me being hateful and discriminating, it just makes me sick. So I'm choosing not to respond to it because I can't. And then noticing other people are responding to it, and I'm not even reading those. I'm just liking to believe that they're coming to my defense, you know. But in Bible study, we're going to be talking about chapter 2. So I figured I'd read on chapter 2, and talks about the breath of life. And it just reminded me of when I go like halfway out on my property. I consider it kind of like a meditation, a breathing. And it reminded me of this Rob Bell, I think his name was, from Numa. Years ago, he was talking about Moses burning bush, God telling him to take off his sandals and put his feet on the sacred ground, and that's how I look when I'm out in nature. Is this is God's sacred ground, no matter where you are. It's holy. But he also was talking about how Moses was told to spread his word or whatever, and Moses said, who should I say is coming? And he said, Lord. That's the English version, but the Hebrew version, everybody pronounces it Yahweh, but it was only YHVH. And I guess the way that they would say it, it's like breathing, Yahweh. So you always have to ask yourself, is the name of God the sound of breathing, the breath of life? In Genesis chapter 2, God picks up a handful of dirt from the ground. He shapes it and forms it, and he breathed life into it. The Hebrew word for ground is Adama, which I always thought was kind of cool about Battlestar Galactica with all their religious undertones. Not even undertones, it was pretty obvious that Adama was a leader, the main guy. So you're talking about Adam, pretty much assuming his name is pronounced Adam. So I don't think it's a coincidence that Battlestar Galactica named him Adama. Every time I come out here, I feel closer to God. I have to get away from everything. I've told people before, I'm a pretty private person. And so when I woke up this morning to that, I'm still sick to my stomach. And I shouldn't be. The old me would have just said F it and ruined my life some more. But I have to come out here to places like this. And this one was a struggle just to get here, so it's nice to sit in the shade and talk. I feel closer to God when I'm out here, and I can meditate. Meditation is completely underrated. Think about how simple it probably is. Every time we breathe, we're breathing in God and we're exhaling all the bad. It's probably why meditation, I think I've just said that, it's underrated. I'm sorry, I'm at a loss today because of that. There's been a few things that have been bothering me lately that people have said about me. And a lot of times I believe it when people say these things about me, they're actually saying things about themselves that they don't want to admit, but they'd rather project it onto me because it's easier to blame me for that than to admit it themselves. I don't know. I do a lot of sarcastic comments. A lot of my videos I make are sarcastic. Most of them I don't even talk in them. I just let you be the judge of what you're watching. A lot of it I think is funny. I think it's weird that I've been labeled a conservative because of the videos I post, and it's like, well, I don't really post a lot on Trump because I think the dude's an asshole. I don't think a lot of what he says is funny, so I don't. The other people I do, so that's why I do it because I think it's funny. Maybe I'm wrong for doing that. I don't know. So I come out here and breathe in God and exhale all the troubles. Allegedly, that's how it's supposed to work. It's gonna suck going back. I've talked in videos before how 90, 94, 95. I was hit by a drunk driver and was almost paralyzed from the waist down. So I have a hard time walking now. Now that I'm older, I had a real hard time back then when it happened. Then I started really going to the gym all the time. And it kind of negated everything, and I felt good. Played sports, softball, that's it, some volleyball. Not a big fan of volleyball. Now that I'm older, I don't have a gym membership. I do work out a little bit, but not like I did. So it's getting harder for me to walk. I've noticed the last while, I don't know how long back ago, I started noticing that I'm thinking my steps, and I have to be aware of every step I take now. And it seems like whenever I stop thinking about it, something happens. So that's where I'm at. There's deer out here right now. I've scared a bunch of them away. Oh, one just ran by to the left of me. Can't see it. It's pretty far back, but I saw him. Either that or it was, it might have been Bigfoot. Something right behind me I'm going to show on my way back that I believe is a Bigfoot shelter. So I brought my old phone for that. Made sure I brought it because I wasn't sure how long I was going to talk. I think I'm going to let go on this in a little bit and just sit here, not recording, just breathe. Tomorrow at 5:30 I got a interview, so really worried about that for no reason. A lot of anxiety over it. So it's funny how when you get the phone call you get super excited, and then once it's down, the date and the time that you're actually going to do it, the fear kicks in. You're not going to get your job anyways, so why even go? you know. So anybody watching this that is young in their being clean or sobriety, thinking that once I get a year, it's going to be easy. It's not. I think it becomes easier not to talk yourself into turning into some self destructive behavior, because I still have those thoughts of that self destructive behavior, but I'm not acting on it. So it's easier to tell myself to shut the F up, if you understand what that means. And that's the thing about when I woke up this morning and I saw those messages. If the old me that was stuck in my self destruction would have wondered, what the heck did I say? And just assumed that I probably said something really offensive that I would have regretted. But to be able to wake up and know for a fact that I didn't say anything offensive, that's the only part of it that feels good. But to read what was being said about me, it's like, okay. So yeah, I'm still struggling with that because that really hurt me. I know, poor Kenny. Poor little Kenny gonna go cry now. Yeah, you know what? I just might. because I sure feel like crying. And maybe that might do me some good. The last time I actually cried without it being because I was drunk or whatever was when my oldest son was 17 and he wanted to join the military, and I had to go and sign papers allowing him to because he wasn't 18 yet. And I was so freaking proud of him. I couldn't wait to get there. Got out of my vehicle and started walking across the parking lot to the recruiting office, and I started freaking crying. I had to turn right around, get back in my vehicle, and I had to sit there for like 10 minutes to compose myself. And until I was convinced, looking in the mirror, that it didn't look like I was just crying, that's when I went in there and signed the papers. But I was out in my vehicle bawling like a big old baby. Because you get those fears, and you're like, holy crap, I'm giving my son over to the government right now. All these fears running through my head. So it's good, I guess. It's good to wake up to people being mad at you, and it has nothing to do with drinking or doing drugs. It's probably just because I'm an asshole, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But it's been a long time since I've had these feelings inside, and it wasn't because of drugs or alcohol. So this is a little new to me. Not that it hasn't happened before, it has, but my behavior would have chosen a different outcome for today, back in the day. Yeah, so I'm going to end this video. There are people that are in my thoughts and prayers right now. I'm not going to mention anybody's names. Hopefully, some of you are watching this. But I pray for you whether you like it or not. It's my choice, not yours. And I do love you guys. And I wish nothing but good things for all of you. Whether we agree to disagree or not. But I am not going to be the one to say hurtful things about you. I just wish for everyone to be kind to themselves, be kind to other people, and have a good day. Peace.